Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the People's Mic Podcast. I am your girl, Reverend Dr. Najuma Smith, and I'm so glad to be on with you all today. Thank you for joining us for another amazing episode of the People's Mic Podcast, where we're all about justice, hope, and healing, listening to conversations and stories of amazing people doing amazing things. And this week we have another great guest that I'm going to introduce to you in just a moment. But first, I want to invite you to make sure that you're following us on our YouTube channel and our Instagram channel, both under the People's Mic Podcast. So follow us there so you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes that are coming out this year. So let's get into today's conversation. My guest, she is no stranger to any work that I'm doing. She's actually our executive pastor at Word of Encouragement Community Church. She's also a sister friend and just doing amazing work in and around Los Angeles. Let's welcome Reverend Dr. Joleta Simmons.
Hi. Hi, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm
good.
good.
To be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Dr. Simmons.
That's what it is. I still got to get used to that. I still got to get used to that.
Dr. Simmons.
Sometimes when people say that, I still go like,
Dr.
really?
Simmons.
Yeah.
Listen, we are going to be talking today with Reverend Dr. Joleta Simmons about her dissertation and how her journey from high school dropout, which is no shade, no shame, because listen, we all have a story, which we want to hear more about, but how she did the amazing work of going from a dropout high school student to now a doctorate, the doctor, Joleta Simmons. And we have so much joy calling her that at church. But Dr. Joleta, tell the people who you are, tell them a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get into some dialogue about your journey.
Sure. So as she said, I'm Dr. Joleta Simmons. I am the executive pastor at Word of Encouragement, which I love my church family. Yeah. I'm the single parent of 3 adult children who are amazing. And I have 2 beautiful grandchildren who are the best. And so I work, I'm out of education. I worked for 19 years in education, actually in discipline. Yeah. And I'm not going to name that. So moving forward, we'll leave it unnamed. But my passion is young people. I think it's because of the struggles that I've had as a teenager, just navigating through life and making the decisions, literally. So young people, but especially young girls, you know, to help them navigate. And honestly, I learn a lot from them too, because there's a lot going on out there I don't know. So,
It's, you know what, you talk about working with young women now, and you know, I remember hearing my mom say things are different, like when she was in her 40s and 50s, and I was a young teenager, and now I find myself, I don't say it out loud, but I find myself thinking, oh, times have really changed.
Yeah, exactly.
And they have, and a lot of that is technology. A lot of that is just culturally things have changed. Exactly. So we look forward to hearing more about the young ladies that you're working with. But first, I want to get into your doctorate. Now, you have a unique story in that you are now Reverend Dr. Joleta Simmons.
Exactly.
And I know, and you and I have talked about this offline and you know, at the church and stuff, but your story begins with you being one thing that I know that you've talked a lot about, honestly and openly with other people and the young girls that you work with, that you were a high school dropout.
Right.
And so talk to us a little bit about your journey, like how you went from being a high school dropout to now a doctorate. And what were some of those ups and downs, and you know, what did that mean for you then and now and all the things?
Okay, so actually, do I want to, how transparent do I want to be today? No, high school for me in general, I think it started in middle school. I grew up in a single parent home, so we lived in Leimert Park. Yeah. And then my mom finally bought a house in Compton. Okay. So I moved to Compton in 1972. Okay. Prior to that, I was a very kind of shy girl. I wasn't really like, you know, but once we got to Compton, because I felt so insecure about things, I met some amazing young women that were just a little freer than I was.
Yeah.
And I kind of adapted into that.
I got you.
No regrets.
Yeah.
I look back and sometimes it was painful.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. So I think I almost did not graduate from middle school.
Okay.
But I did.
Yeah.
And then we went to high school. I think the 10th grade. High school, you're like, so the first couple of weeks, you go, and then it just got to the point where, I'll be transparent, I think the math.
I got you.
Don't ask me nothing about math.
I got you.
And I was not a good student. So going to math class was, because I don't want the teacher to ask me a question.
Yeah.
So I'll just skip that class.
Yeah.
And then,
skip once, skip twice, skip another time. Yeah.
Going over, just don't go to English.
Yeah.
And it just got so easy to skip. And then we drank a lot. Mm-hmm. And we smoked weed a lot, So that whole thing, I just got into this thing. My mom is 21 years older than me. Okay. So it's kind of like I knew how far to go with her, though.
Yeah.
So 9th grade, I think I finished the 9th grade. The 10th grade is when I really, but I went to the school, though.
Yeah.
I went,
you went to school.
I went to school. I just didn't participate in the classes.
Participate in school. I got you.
And then after that, one of the things that I have a friend, her name is Vicky, and it was 4 of us. Mm-hmm. And Vicky was one, she would hang out with us at lunch, nutrition, everything. But when the bell rang, Vicky went to class, and out of our group, she's the only one that graduated.
Well, congratulations.
But we talked, we talked and everything. And I was saying, like, I really admire you for doing that, because you knew how to, she had boundaries.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things, my self-esteem and what I wanted to prove myself to the friends that so I allowed myself to just follow the leader. Yeah. And it just spiraled, And
I like what, I appreciate your transparency, because what we do know, like having these conversations about ourselves is not always easy. So I thank you first for your transparency, and even how you use your story now to work with other young women, and how you use your story even in your past profession as a disciplinarian on campus. And I think I'm hearing a couple of things, and I'd love for you to talk and lean more into, because it wasn't like you just didn't want to go to class. Or you just didn't like school. There were things going on with you internally. Self-esteem, worthiness issues, but also and because of that, it was easy to follow.
Right.
And it was easy to follow, and it was easy to fall behind. And I think sometimes we are attacking young people for the things that we see outwardly, like the bad grades or the skipping class, or or even the dropping out, right? But we're not asking the deeper question, which is what's going on with you.
Exactly.
And let me ask you this question. Do you think, and maybe someone did, but do you think if someone had taken a sincere amount of time, whether that was a family member, somebody on campus, saying what's really going on with you, would that have changed things for you?
So
were there people that were trying to understand, or they were just like, whatever's happening is happening?
Let me just, for my mom, my mother was a single parent. She worked.
Absolutely.
I got some whoopings. My mother came up to the school a couple of times.
Yeah.
And it just got to the point where if you're not going to go to school, you're going to get a job.
I got you.
But I know I broke her heart. And we went on, I got a job and just went on with life. Always feeling really bad that, I didn't graduate. Prom came around and I'm not going to prom. And everybody would say, let's go to the prom. No, because I didn't graduate. Why would I go? Let's go up to the graduation. No, why would I do that? And it was a lot of shame in me. I covered it, like, whatever.
It's
whatever. But it was really
do you, just thinking back, and maybe you don't have an answer for this, what if there had been a counselor who said, no, come on, let's figure out what's going on with you? Would you have listened, or you were just like, no, I'm not listening to anybody?
I probably could have gotten some help if I went to
I got you.
You know, and it's just, I'm not going to say that the school wouldn't have helped.
I got you.
It's just that, you know, you don't want to, why are you not coming to school? Well, I don't know math.
Okay.
You know, I have to show you what I don't know. And, I cannot believe this. And I just felt like, listen, I got these, we cool. You know, me and my crew, we're cool. So, and I'm not thinking ahead. And I think that's what a lot of young people don't understand. 18 is coming.
You're not thinking that at some point you're going to be 30, right? You're thinking, I'm going to be 18 forever.
Like that. And I just was like,
we're going to play forever. Yeah.
So I just rolled on. I just worked. And what happened to me was my mom got a job at, you may remember the name, ACC News.
Yes.
ACC Church News. My mom was the printer there.
Okay.
And before she started her own business. And the pastor there, the Love of God Missionary Baptist Church, was my pastor.
Okay.
So they had the summer program.
Yeah.
So I went to the summer program, and there were people there that took.
I got you.
And then I was like, so I had a lady there, Beverly. She taught me not filing, because you know your ABCs, but office work, how to do office work, and how to answer the phone. And I became the church secretary, so I know how to count money, do banking. So I learned that, and now hindsight, I'm looking back, like, look at God. Now I can go back and I can see.
Absolutely.
Right? And so I started learning a lot of things from there. And so I decided to go back and get my GED.
Yeah, good.
And
at what age were you now when you decided to go get the GED?
I'm probably 27, 26, 27, because it was before I had my first child.
I got you. So from high school till the GED is attained, how did you process not graduating from high school? Like what was your internal process like?
I felt like it played on you like, oh, you're not smart. You know, so it starts thinking like, you know, and then I have, you know, meeting other people, you know, and hearing them talk about, oh, I have this, oh, I'm going to school, I'm going to college, oh, I did it. It was like in the side of me, it was very painful, because I'm thinking like, I could have done that. Right. You know, I should have done that. And one of the things I think that really helped me, moved me to get my GED is that I wanted my mom to see. I got you. So she did see the GED, and she was very proud. Yes. But one thing, and I appreciate that, because a lot of mothers or parents would have put the kid out, but my mom, she wasn't that. Yeah. And she rolled with me, and when I got my GED, she was so proud. So
of course, yeah. So what would be your advice to any young person, you know, or maybe a parent, like really to parents? What would be your advice to a parent who's having a child similar to your experience, was like they're not performing well in high school, particularly, and the conversation of dropping out or quitting is coming up? What would your your top advice be for that parent?
My top advice would be to talk to them, ask questions, and first of all, to go visit the school.
Go see what's happening at the school.
See what's happening at the school. Because my mother was one of those people, the teacher said, you know. Yeah. Well, the teacher said, and I said, but the teacher said, you know, I don't know if you grew up in that era. If the teacher said it, that's what happened.
It was gospel.
Yeah. And so when I started working at a school, I was like, so I was at, no, there's definitely something wrong in the schools. Yeah. That a parent, if your child is failing, especially for our black boys. And our black girls too, but black boys in particular, because the special ed program is filled with black boys who are very intelligent. Very intelligent. Yeah. But because they can't relate to them, then they deem them as something that they're not. Right. And so you deemed me as that, so that's what I'm gonna be for you. That's what I'm gonna be. You're right. So I would encourage parents, listen, visit your school. Hispanic parents, white parents, they're at PTA, they're at open house, they are knocking they're at the taking off work, come and say, I need to see this teacher.
Right.
We don't show up.
And you're sharing that as one, because I want people to be clear. You're sharing that as one. How many years did you spend in the school system?
19 years.
19 years. Okay.
19 years.
I just want people to understand that you're not just saying that as a student that dropped out, but like you went back, got your DG, and then you went back into the school to teach and to be there with students who were also experiencing challenges similar to the challenges you had. And so what you're saying, when you say, no, parents go to school, and what you're seeing is our African-American parents aren't showing up, that's 19 years worth of experience.
Yeah.
And I just want that to be clear for our listening audience, because people might not understand, like, you've been in the school.
Yeah. And not only as an employee in discipline, but I'm a parent there that has children going to the same school.
Yeah.
And some of the things that I've experienced as being a parent, like when I'm sitting in my office and you're coming in my office, hey, Joleta or Miss Simmons, whichever they call me. Oh, Tim is so this. Oh, Charles is so this. And then I get a kid's report card and you got all fails. I'm going like,
something ain't adding up. Yeah.
And I realized that because my kids aren't disrespectful and you know they might clown. He's so nice. But you're not telling me he's failing everything.
Right.
And I work there with you. You know. So and then there are those parents that you can make phone calls to parents. They don't answer. What
is that?
I don't know I think our culture, so I'll tell you what. So on
from your experience.
From my experience. The people in the culture that I met, I think what it was is we want to put our kids in these schools that are supposed to be high achieving, which means they're predominantly not us.
Yeah.
And we don't know how to interact.
Got it.
So let's say I didn't work there.
Yeah.
And I didn't make myself better or try to make myself better. And I still had that, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to talk to you.
Right. So I just won't show up.
I don't know. That would have been me. So I don't know if that's a problem that other parents have when your education level is not, you know, and you know they're always going to try to, you know,
be condescending.
Be condescending and tell you about your kid.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the things. And then another thing was that during football, a lot of our boys were there, they played football.
Right.
You can't get them to come to a parent meeting, but at football practice, you have parents around the corner.
Yeah.
And we were trying to figure out how do we get them to engage.
Right.
And I just want to encourage parents that whether a kid goes to a bus to a school or you drive them far out or in their neighborhood school, make yourself known.
Yeah.
Let the teacher know, oh, here comes Dr. Najuma.
Yeah. Well, that's what they said that. All of my children, the teachers, the administrators, and I'm not bragging because that was an intention of mine based upon also how I was raised. My mother was present. She was a single parent, and so she worked a lot, but she was present when she could be present. And I gained that from her. And I'm wondering if some of that is generational, right? Where, you know, you send the kids off to school and they're on their own. And I wonder if that's somewhat generational too. But I don't know. I think that may be another show for us to talk about.
Yeah, because
parents being present and not being present. Like, what is that? You know.
I know that being a single parent, if you're working and you put your kid in a school that they're bused to, it's hard for you to navigate and I'm going to say this, that I felt a lot of times that why are you having a PTA meeting at 8 a.m. in the morning?
Well, yes. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely clear about that. Or or 11 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because you know that the black and brown students are bussed out, so the parents are working, they're not working in that area, so they have to get traffic,
just to get there,
and take off work. Why can't you have football games at 7?
Yeah.
Why can't you have a PTA meeting at 7? Right. And I just saw a lot.
So some of it might have even been set up. Some of it, how we run schools now, could be set up.
Maybe.
We had to do it.
I felt like that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And I think you should do. I think there should be a conversation about our kids going
parent involvement.
Parent involvement, and then the equity that is distributed on campus when you have
or the lack of equity.
Yeah, the lack of equity.
Yeah.
And the concern, because one of the concerns we had was our kids are getting up at 5, 4 in the morning. They're getting on the bus.
Yeah.
Of course, she's gonna be asleep in class.
Yeah. My oldest son, he went to Taft for a while when we lived in Inglewood, and it was like that.
Yeah.
And
So
we eventually transferred, but there was some of what you're sharing was part of the challenge. You know, again, I've been blessed to have a different kind of schedule, so I was able to, even at Taft, go to school and participate a bit more. But I know that's not the norm for everybody.
But I was on campus.
I
was on campus. I even had my oldest son's counselor tell him that he wasn't going. Not my oldest son, Tim.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Tim, my middle child, that he wasn't gonna graduate, and he almost didn't.
Yeah.
But by the grace of God, and I'm telling you, I'm on campus, and my child has failed all of 9th grade, all of 10th grade,
and nobody said nothing.
And the first semester of 11th grade
is when they tell you.
And I'm seeing him do work at home.
Yeah.
But, and listen, I'm not gonna put it all on the school because if you know Tim.
Yeah.
And so, but the thing of you not having these conversations with me.
Right.
So, but God is good because I think the second semester of 11th grade, it kicked in for him.
Yeah.
And he graduated on time, and he took from the second semester of 11th grade to the last semester of 12th, he made up 28 classes.
Wow.
So that means he was coming to the adult school next door to where I work. And then there was a class on campus.
Wow.
Then I got off work at 4 so he could go there.
Right.
And then on my way home, I dropped him off at the continuation. But he graduated on time. And one of the best feelings was to look that man in the face and Tim said, "I'm not going to make it, huh?" And he was so surprised.
Yes.
He would be, if he's still around and think, Google him.
Yeah.
Like Google him. But I think the conversations were not good. When I was going to school in the 70s, in the 1900s.
We went to school in the 1900s.
It was just, I was afraid to let people know I didn't know math.
I got you.
Right? And I was afraid to, listen, I can read, I can write, I can have a conversation, but that math part, it literally,
was intimidating.
It really was. And it was easier just to drink and smoke and sit out there and listen to Earth, Wind and Fire and the Gap Bam. And, you know.
And again, anyone that's watching, or those that are watching and those that are watching, there's no shade to anyone who hasn't graduated. We're learning her story because when we come back, we're going to hear how the story turned around. And if you are an adult and you didn't graduate, you can get your GED.
Exactly.
It's never too late. So please hear the story, but hear the victory in the story that Dr. Joleta went back to school, got her GED, and in a minute we're going to come back and talk about her doctorate. You know, so it's no shade, it's all encouragement. And the truth is we all have a story, we all have a journey. And that's why we're here to talk about the journey and what's possible. And so don't go anywhere, but we'll be right back with continuing our conversation with Dr. Joleta. And we're gonna come back to about that doctorate, from dropout to doctorate.
Amen. So excited.